When we think about toxic personalities, we usually have a pretty set picture in our heads, right? Well, today we're going to challenge that. We're diving into a really fascinating but kind of hidden psychological dynamic. We're literally pulling back the curtain on the type of narcissism nobody warns you about.
Seriously, ask yourself, what does a narcissist actually look like? I bet I know what you're picturing. Somebody arrogant, domineering. The kind of person who just sucks up absolutely all the space in the room and makes sure everybody knows they're there. We've all run into that loud, demanding persona. But what if that classic, obvious image is actually causing us to completely miss a much quieter, sneakier threat?
Because here's the crazy twist. The most dangerous type of narcissism doesn't look like arrogance at all, not even a little bit. It actually looks like someone who needs you. It shows up as this perpetual victim, someone who day by day subtly makes you feel super guilty for ever daring to think about yourself.
This is what we call covert narcissism. Now, look, the goal with this explainer isn't to just hand you a bunch of labels to slap on your friends and family. Not at all. Instead, we're zooming in on a hidden pattern, this incredibly insidious psychological system that's just running right in plain sight. And the absolute wildest part about this, the person running it usually has no idea they're doing it, and their targets, they almost never see it coming.
So here's our roadmap for today's explainer. We're going to look at 1. The poor me trap. 2. Silent punishment. 3. The martyr mask. 4. Covert love bombing. And finally, 5. The empathy trap. Let's get into it.
All right, number 1, the poor me trap. So an overt narcissist, they demand your attention by dominating the space. But the covert narcissist, they get your attention through their suffering. This is the friend or partner who always has it worse than you. Oh, you had a hard week? Well, theirs was an absolute nightmare. Every single conversation, no matter how it starts, eventually orbits right back to their pain. Your struggles just constantly get overshadowed. And there's actually some really deep biology behind this maneuver. When someone sends out signals of helplessness, your brain automatically fires up a caregiving response. It's biological. You're basically hardwired, like a moth to a flame, to comfort them, to prioritize them, and totally shelve your own needs for a minute. They're literally hacking your biology to hijack your focus.
So, how do you spot it? Well, the ultimate tell is that the suffering never actually resolves. It just magically evolves into the very next crisis. And why is that? Because the suffering isn't just a state they happen to be in. It's a system they're actively running on you.
Moving on to number 2, silent punishment.
An overt narcissist will usually explode when they don't get their way. They get loud, they yell, but a covert narcissist, they just vanish into silence. Cold withdrawal. One-word answers. Just this sudden, chilling emotional distance that you didn't see coming, and honestly, you can't even explain.
What this is essentially is aggression without evidence. Since human brains are literally hardwired for social connection, this sudden silent treatment acts like an invisible threat, like a weird glitch in our internal software. So what happens? You panic. You start obsessively scanning your memory to figure out what you did wrong. You're frantically over-explaining. You're apologizing. You're reaching out. Suddenly, you're the one chasing them. And guys, that is exactly what this loop is designed to make you do.
And if you ever try to call them out on this weird tension, get ready, because you're going to hear this exact weaponized phrase. I'm fine, I just needed space. It is the perfect plausible deniability. They've just completely flipped the script, shifted the blame onto you for even noticing the tension, and now you're the one apologizing for pointing it out. It's wild.
Okay, number 3, the martyr mask. After everything I've done for you, I guarantee you'll hear variations of that phrase constantly. Covert narcissists absolutely love to sacrifice for you, but trust me, they're going to remind you of that sacrifice over and over again. It's literally self-sacrifice weaponized. Every little act of perceived generosity isn't actually a gift. It morphs into this exhausting, ongoing ledger of debt. A debt you never agreed to take on, but somehow you're always falling behind on your payments.
That brings us to number 4, covert love bombing. Now, you've probably heard of traditional love bombing, right? The grand gestures, the massive flood of attention. Well, covert love bombing is way quieter. It's all about them subtly mirroring your deepest values, your hidden wounds, and even your specific language to engineer this profound sense of connection. They make you feel understood at a soul level right from the jump. But listen closely here. This is not real intuition. It's a biological shortcut straight to the trust center of your brain, and it's specifically designed to bond you to them super tightly before that silent punishment phase ever kicks in.
And finally, number 5, the empathy trap. part is the most surprising. Covert narcissists don't actually prey on the weak. They don't. They intentionally target the self-aware. They are looking for highly empathetic individuals, the kind of folks who just naturally believe everyone deserves a second chance, and who are always super quick to give people the benefit of the doubt.
So if you're the kind of person who naturally tries to see things from someone else's perspective, this dynamic literally uses your own best instinct against you. Your really beautiful, kind-hearted willingness to absorb the blame and deeply understand other people, that becomes the exact mechanism keeping you trapped right in their orbit. So let's pull all this together. We've got poor me trap, silent punishment, the martyr mask, covert love bombing, and the empathy trap. Guys, these aren't just random quirky personality traits. They are 5 deeply interconnected loops of one singular system. And they all share one major overarching goal: to force you to constantly manage their reality instead of just living your own.
But here is the incredibly empowering news. Once you actually see the system, it really can't run on you anymore. When you start treating these behaviors not just as, individual annoyances, but as a highly recognized, calculated system, it gives you the ultimate shield. Because knowing exactly how the game is played means you're no longer just a pawn on their board.
So, I want to leave you with this final thought as we wrap up today's Explainer. Now that this invisible web has been totally unmasked, you have a pretty big choice to make in your own relationships moving forward. Will you let your beautiful, natural empathy be a trap? Or will you take what you've learned today and make your awareness your shield? Keep learning, stay aware, and I'll see you in the next Explainer.